This game ends up going the distance here simply because... Hey guys, welcome back to DreamHack Stockholm. I'm JoRoSaR, and I've managed to locate Liquid Ret, who has been quietly plugging away at this tournament, I have to say. Unfortunately, no longer in the tournament, but I don't think you actually dropped the map until Group Stage 3. You had a bit of Protoss Wrecking Ball, I think, going through Hero, that's Liquid's Hero, and then Wellmu, and then you came up against Mana and CJ Hero in Group Stage 3, and that unfortunately left you third in your group. But it looks like you had some really strong games today. I don't think they were streamed. Why don't you talk us through how you've been playing?
Yeah, it went really well for me this tournament. I played pretty much exclusively against Protoss, and I was able to play my style that I've been practicing really well, where I kind of just open with Roachling and then either go Mutas or go Fast Hive. Kind of like how Sue plays in GSL, where I feel like nowadays to beat Protoss you have to always switch up your tech. And I've been getting pretty good at that at home, so I was very happy that I could actually show it again in a tournament, because it's been such a long time where I actually played a tournament and felt like I put my best out there. But here I feel like I did, and I took down some good names, so it's really good for my confidence.
That's really cool. I think in the last, I would say in the last 6 months, there have been some ups and some downs for you, but it looks like you're doing something at the moment that's really just working. Have you changed anything in particular, sort of in your practice regime, or even just like how you're approaching stuff in general that's kind of made this difference for you, do you think?
Well, as a player for me in 2010, 2011, 2012, I kind of did really well, and it kind of just came naturally because I played Brood War for such a long time, so playing StarCraft 2 was kind of easy for me. And after that good period, I started doing worse and worse and worse. And I wasn't enjoying the game as much, but I still had to play because I had to go to all these tournaments. So it wasn't really working out in the sense that I was just enjoying the game and trying to be the best I could be and loving it.
Yeah.
Even in Brood War, I was a guy who would play for 8 months and then take off for 2 years because I wouldn't be enjoying it, and then come back again and do really well again and be really committed. But since it became my job, I couldn't really take the time off at all. So forcing myself to play, and all the pressure from having to do well, and everything you're playing for, like it's your career, it's your livelihood and stuff. That just wasn't good for me. Like I wasn't in a good place mentally. And nowadays, I've just kind of let it all go, and I just show up and I do my best for fun and I enjoy it. And it worked well this tournament, and I'm gonna try to keep that attitude going forward. And if I don't enjoy the game, I just won't be playing.
Yeah.
But if I'm enjoying it, then I'm just gonna try my best, and hopefully it'll continue into 2015.
Hey, to be honest, that sounds like a great way to be. I mean, esports or otherwise, if you are enjoying what you're doing as your job, it's always that much easier to do well. So it's really great to see you on this kind of form. Was there anything in particular about the games you won and the games you lost in this tournament? Because since they were all against Protoss, that you can tell us about, sort of like what went really well and what you're planning on practicing against coming away from this?
Against both Wellmu and Hero,
yeah.
I 2-0'd both of them, and I used a different style in each game. Like on Overgrowth, I played three base saturation into Hydras, because on that map you can kill the rocks and kind of get a really good flank with Hydras. And that worked really well against them. It's really popular nowadays for Protoss to go for a third base and then do some kind of blink pressure, because Protoss is very scared of like muta switches and stuff, and if you give the Zerg too much time, it can be often too late, so they like to be aggressive. And Hydras works really well against that. And then every time in the second game, I played double upgrades for Lings, which really is very good for quick tech switches. Like you can get the Spire, you can get the Infestation Pit, and the Protoss will be scouting you. And Hero kind of did well and scouted the Spire and defended the Corruptor Muta. But after that, I just went for a Fast Hive, kept my creep spread up, and then I had Ultra Infestor Viper. And that's a really strong combo that I really like. Like if you land the Blinding Cloud and the Fungal, his units literally can't shoot. So it's a really strong combo, and I've really been enjoying doing it against Protoss in practice. And it's worked well here. Like I feel, ZVP kind of just makes sense to me, and there's no confusion right now. So it was relatively easy, actually.
What was the story any different in the games you ended up losing in Group Stage 3?
Yeah, I started off against Hero, losing against a 4-gate, which I normally hold rather easily in ladder, so it really surprised me. I didn't overdrone or anything, but I think the map was just really good for the 4-gate. It was King Sejong, and he made like a pylon between my natural and my third base, so I had to make a spine in one of the places, and then he just kept going for the other place, and I just couldn't make enough lings and queens to hold it. And then the second game I actually went for a 9-pool, because when I saw a Hero play against Hyun in game 2, he went for a Nexus first. So I was thinking, like, well, I'm playing against Hero, I'm probably the underdog. I'm going to try to get even on like this build or win. But he actually planned to cannon rush me, so he had a forge, just made a cannon and a full wall and a Nexus, and I was really far behind. And I lost to Immortal push. And then against Mana, the second time around, I also kind of just got unlucky. I got Catalina positions where he was on the left and I was on the top. That leaves my main like entirely exposed to him. And he went for a really smart build where he cleared out my overlords with the Phoenix. And then instead of going into Colossus production, he went for a War Prism and gateways with +1. And I couldn't see the War Prism because my overlords were dead. So he just got sentries in the main base and zealots, and I took a lot of damage. And then the second game, I went hatch first and got cannon rushed. And I blocked the first probe and the first cannons kind of well. But then a second probe showed up just on the edge of my vision and started making 3 cannons. So at that point I just knew, like, okay, I'm not going to hold this, I'm dead. And that was the tournament for me, so kind of unfortunate to lose to Mana in that way when I've beaten so many good Protoss before. But I was okay with it, you know, like, I think the round of 16 I would have played MMA, and I don't think I would have had a chance, so I'm content with how it went.
You mentioned playing against MMA. We kind of have a little period at the moment in StarCraft where the Terran players are starting to make a bit of a resurgence. We had some Protoss semi-dominance for a while. The Zergs were in there before that as well. Seems like it's the Terran's turn now. Is this a natural progression of things, the way the meta is going? Or is there any problem that needs to be addressed? Or is this actually a phase we're going to move out of?
I really don't know what to say about it, because I spoke to David Kim at length. I messaged him a ton about the proposed changes, and I always thought that the Thor change to auto-attack mutas was a very, very bad change, because it takes micro out of the game. It's too good sometimes, like if your mutas are stacked even once or twice, 2 Thor shots kill all your mutas. So I feel like right now with the Widowmine back at its former strength and the Thor change, Terran might just be OP right now, and I don't know if it's because it's to make up for the fact that they were really shit for like a year or year and a half. Or I don't know if it was just unplanned or what, but I feel like Terran probably, if the patch stays like this, it's going to remain strong until something changes again.
Do you have any similar feelings with Protoss, or do you feel like ZVP at the moment is kind of where it should be? I mean, we had the Protoss changes a while back, and it seemed to have calmed down that period of dominance. How are you feeling for that matchup?
Yeah, I don't think Protoss is overpowered. I think the ZVP matchup is just very tricky, and both players are always trying to trick each other. And if one person tricks the other, that person's going to win. So I don't necessarily like how the matchup works, because I feel like when you're playing against Terran, it's constant fights, constant micro, constant macro. You're always fighting back and forth, and you always have opportunities to change the game. Whereas against Protoss, it's like an information game. Like, they try to scout your composition, you try to get an idea of their composition, and then whoever makes the better choice, or even gets lucky, can win the game. So, but I don't think it's imbalanced either way. It's just it plays differently.
And where's next for you from here now? You've had a pretty encouraging tournament here in Stockholm. What are you doing from now until the end of the year?
Well, when I get home, I'm gonna keep playing StarCraft as long as I love doing it. So hopefully that'll stay for a while. And then I'm hoping I get to play in Home Story Cup this year. It's going to be the 10th one, so it's going to be special, I heard. And other than that, I don't think there's too much going on. Like, there will be IEM San Jose qualifiers for Europe with all the Koreans. So I'll definitely partake in that, but it'll be very hard. I might actually try out some Heroes of the Storm as well.
Okay, all right. Sounds like a lot of fun. Well, thanks for chatting to me today. We've got a top 4 coming up now in DreamHack. Is there anybody in particular you're tipping for victory here? It's pretty tight.
I think I'm going to go for CJ Hero or Sue. Stu just because I just watched him play and he's absolutely amazing. It blows me away how he's using his keyboard and how fast he is and everything. It's just unbelievable. And then Hero's the guy that beat me, so I got to cheer for him as well. But if I made a prediction, probably Stu. I think out of anyone I've ever seen play, he's the most impressive to me.
All right, well, thanks very much for sharing that with us. Any last words? A hello to your fans who maybe didn't see so much of you this tournament, but are now pretty happy to know that actually you had quite a good one.
Yeah, I'm sorry to everyone that didn't see my games, but I actually kind of like playing in the shadow, you know, it's less pressure. But hopefully if this keeps up, then everybody gets to see a little more of me again.
Cool, well, thanks very much for talking to me, mate. Really appreciate it. And we'll see more from DreamHack Stockholm, guys, in just a bit. So take care, and we'll see you for more content soon.